All right, this is a very short video on my portfolio and specifically why I'm trading a very, very short-term bounce in the miners. Now, you can check my other videos. I think the market's going lower. Said it for a while. I do, however, think we may have 1 or 2 days bounce. And for the miners, you could have a sort of 5% move coming. So we've come down more than the markets. All right, a lot more. Just we've underperformed the markets. And I think gold is one of the best sectors on the way up, just that we've had recently. So, miners come down a lot. Look at this 15-minute chart. Absolutely love it. A small move above this and a close above this descending for me, it's sort of, I hate to say the word guarantee, but the statistical probability of a bounce is pretty high. And I think we can make between 5 and 10%. Now, on the GDXJ, same sort of pattern. Okay, but if I zoom out, you can see it's a sort of 10% potential. I think if we get to this resistance, you sell into this, and I think, just in case it doesn't go this high, you sell before. I'll probably sell this in 4 tranches. I've already bought a sort of one zone in the miners when gold was at 1830, and I'm going to try and buy a little bit more on Monday. It depends what happens, but I think we're going to have a nice little bounce in the miners. We may even have days where the market's down and the miners are sort of unchanged, maybe even up 1%. So I think we're going to outperform the markets. And if the markets have a small bounce, well, either way, I still think we get 5 to 10%. So that's what I'm trading. If we look at gold and silver, and by the way, silver was down 2.5% on Friday. And when you have the miners down less than 1%, about 1% on average, that for me is an indication that the miners are oversold. Because normally a 2.5% drop in the silver would be sort of 4% down in the miners overall. So lots of reasons for a bounce. The descending 15 minutes, the fact that silver's come down a lot and the miners aren't really moving, the fact that the miners have come down a lot. And I think we may even have a small bounce in the markets. So, you may even have the dollar up slightly and gold or the miners up. So I think when you see those sort of differences between sectors that shouldn't be aligned, I think we're going to see that. And then I think that's extra reason for a bounce. So let's look at the portfolio. What have I added to? I've got it here on the right too. So I'm buying basically a little bit of everything. Barrick Gold, something I didn't own enough of. I'm going to be adding to that on Monday. What price? Wherever I can get it around here. So if it goes lower than where it is, I'll probably buy some. If it goes a little higher, I'll probably buy some. If it goes too high, I'll leave it. I already own enough miners overall. Plus, I bought a general tranche when gold was at 1830, which is roughly a little higher. So I've already bought this zone. I'm just going to go in a little more because I want to trade this little bounce. Newmont, I own too much of it. I'm not touching it. Agnico-Eagle, I have bought a little bit. I want to buy a little bit more of this. Wheaton, I won't touch because it hasn't come down more than the others. So Wheaton and Newmont are basically the only two I don't really buy. Pan America, I want to buy roughly this zone, a very small amount. Like silver, small amount where it is. Although it's come down more, it had bad news. So I don't want to sort of favor it a bit too much. It tends to have pattern where miners that have come down a lot because of bad news, they don't usually always go up more to make up for it. It's not always the case. So I don't want to fall into that trap. Goldfields, I need to own more of it. So I want to buy quite a bit of that relative to the others on Monday. Gran Colombia, which actually is called Arius now. I didn't even know that. That one also, I need to buy a little bit. I haven't bought back what I've sold up here or enough of it. First Majestic, a bit risky. It's come down a lot. It's flushed. It's on bad news. It closed lower than the others. It looks like it won't outperform the other ones on the way up and would probably underperform on the way down. So I think it's not the best to add, but I own a position and that the value of that holding has come down enough for me to buy more. And I do find support kind of 550, which is not too far away. So I don't know. I may buy a little bit of this. I'm still not sure about that one, actually. Fortuna, I'll buy a little bit back. EXK, buy a little bit back. CVE, buy a bit more than the others back because it's on this ascending support. Plus, it's one of my favorite ones, especially for the move up. So I think you could easily get to sort of 339 on this on move up. And you know what? That's quite a lot of percentage points, I reckon. Yeah, well, more than 10%. And that's pretty simple for Carl Daglen to achieve. Discovery Silver, that's another one that I don't own enough of. It's come all the way back down to one of the support targets I wanted. So I will definitely be buying some of that, quite a lot, actually. And the other three I'm not really touching because they're a bit special, although I am considering nibbling into these two. I didn't want to go into too much detail. No point in me giving you the price because I'm just saying I want to buy it where it is. I should have bought it Friday, actually. I just wasn't around. But maybe I'm locking on Monday. It's the same price or even a little lower. But my point is that I will be adding to basically all of my positions except Wheaton, Newmont, and this one over here, Trillium. All the others I will be buying. First Majestic, I'll be buying a little less than I normally would, just because it sort of had bad news and underperformed the others and the sector. So that's my plan on Monday. I'll let you know Monday evening what prices I get. But I just thought I'd share my general thesis that I believe the miners are due for a bounce, and these are the ones I'm going to be buying. I did look at some of the other ones that I don't own, but I'm happy with my current portfolio. And if some of these get extra cheap, then maybe I'll look at it. For example, Anglo Gold is one that I was looking at. SSRM Mining, that's also come down all the way back to support, in my opinion. So some of these with the red tag are the ones that I'm looking at. And there's also this one over here, which I don't know much about, but looks quite strong. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on the miners and what I intend to do on Monday.